We've done this dance for so long. Aren't you just the least bit curious?
Bats with cats now? Ugh. I just threw up in my mouth a little.
That hurt. It was supposed to.
This just gets better and better.
It's like they're all crawling out from under the carpets now.
Hush knows. He's been one step ahead of me the whole time.
Mother... None of this is my fault. He made me control Superman. Can't say he put up much of a fight.
What's his name?
Hush, Batman. Hush.
Created by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee in 2002, the Batman Hush storyline has become an iconic issue in the Dark Knight mythology and comics overall in a relatively short span of time. The story gives us the origin of Hush and how he gets under the Caped Crusader's skin, and less than a month back, it got the animated movie treatment which deviated from the comic in many ways. So today I'll tell you guys what changed for the better and what should have been left as is. Let's get right in. In the movie, the first pawn Batman has to fight is Bane, who has kidnapped the son of a wealthy family to get jacked with more venom.
Stupido bat. My venom is stronger. I am stronger!
As law enforcement officers try to deliver the money to him, Batman finds and defeats him, but the ransom is stolen by Catwoman. After Bane escapes custody, Batman tracks him to Poison Ivy's hideout and helps Amanda Waller tranquilize him. Now, while the banter between Batman and Waller was enjoyable, the comics actually did it much better here, because it is Killer Croc who is the kidnapper, and his reason for wanting the money was to stop the advancement of his genetic mutation, which was making him into a monster. This actually made him a grey character and not the mindless villain Bane turns out to be in the movie.
Where is my money?
In the comics, when Hush cuts Batman's zipline and he falls in an alley, Huntress saves Batman from the thugs who want to kill him. But in the movie, we find Batgirl and Catwoman working together to save him, although they fight for a little while. She also crashes Bruce's car as a strategy to get him admitted to the hospital so that he could be operated upon by Dr. Thomas Elliot. The comic instead has Barbara in her Oracle avatar. She is the Bat family's computer expert and also the one manning comms. She helps Bruce figure out that his former tech specialist Harold has been compromised by Hush. In the movie, Harold's story is not present and Batman deduces Hush's location on his own. I am not sure if I like one version more than the other here, to be honest. Both are different and they both work.
Alfred, Batman's hurt. Really hurt.
The comics have Lex Luthor as the President of the United States, and hence Batman obtains intel from LexCorp President Talia al Ghul in Metropolis about an ethylene compound Ivy was using. He suspects Ra's al Ghul is working with Hush against him and therefore kidnaps Talia to lure him out. They fight in Africa and come to the conclusion that they were both actually pursuing the same person who had also breached a Lazarus pit. At the same time, while Selina is watching over Talia, Lady Shiva comes to free Talia, which leads to a fight, but Talia saves Catwoman in the end. The movie alters all this drastically because Batman gets Ivy's location from Lex, who is an unofficial League member. Talia and Ra's are not even in the picture. Lady Shiva is present though and has a minor role where she informs him of the Lazarus pit. In my opinion, the comics definitely did it better here.
It was a pleasure to see you work.
Next time, call first.
In the movie, Hush kidnaps the Joker and makes Harley Quinn attack the opera where Tommy Elliot, Bruce's childhood friend, Bruce and Selina are enjoying a performance. But the comics did it better in my opinion. First, the trio at the opera are joined by Leslie Tompkins, and here the Joker and Harley Quinn are actually part of the plan to get Batman to almost break his code. In both the comics and the movie, Batman reveals his civilian identity to Selina Kyle, but the movie takes it a notch further where they become a couple and she moves in with Bruce. They even fight crime together for a brief while. She is accepted by Nightwing right away, but in the comics, she actually doesn't get along with Team Drake, the third Robin. Another difference we see is that when Batman wants to kill Joker, after believing that he had killed his childhood friend Tommy Elliot, Catwoman and Jim Gordon both try to stop him, but in the film, it's it's just Gordon. The film also uses her as a damsel in distress towards the end, where she is kidnapped by Hush to compel Batman to rescue her. This is not done in the comics. In both, Bruce and Selina break up in the end, but the reasons are quite different. In the comics, Batman decides that he couldn't trust her, and also because he didn't want to lose anyone ever again. In the film, Catwoman realizes Bruce will never stop being Batman, something which was clearly inspired by Nolan's Rachel Dawes. I think I enjoyed the film's interpretation much more in this case.
I'm such a stupid fool. I can't believe I let myself get caught up in this again. No, I changed. I would have changed more, a lot more. For you. For us. Goodbye, Bruce.
The movie has Selina and Dick at Tommy's grave where Scarecrow ambushes Nightwing. Selina manages to save Dick using the antidote he had on him. The comics deceive its readers with Hush revealing himself as Jason Todd, taking Tim Drake as his hostage. He claimed to have cut Batman's line in the beginning of the story so that Batman landed in the alley where he caught Jason stealing his car. He tries to manipulate Batman using his guilt over not being able to save him, but Batman figures out that it is Clayface impersonating him. The Clayface Batman fight is actually epic, and it's clear that the comic wins here against the much simpler plot in the movie.
Jason.
In the books, Tommy is revealed to be the true Hush. Bruce thinks that Tommy was his best mate, but reality is that he had always been cruel to him. He is also jealous of Bruce's life and tries to murder both his parents as a kid to inherit their estate. Because he blames Thomas Wayne for saving his mother, he stalks Bruce his entire life and joins forces with the Riddler, who uses the Lazarus Pit and becomes his partner in crime. The Tommy Elliot in the alley, who was shot by Two-Face, was actually Clayface, pretending to be the surgeon to push Bruce to the edge. Hush is ultimately defeated and shot by Two-Face, who has been cured of his multiple personality disorder after having a successful plastic surgery. During the surgery, Tommy had planted a tracking device in Bruce's head, which is destroyed by Superman at the end. The film flips the plot here because when Tommy is shot outside the opera by Hush, it's not a ruse. He really dies. He is also portrayed as a true friend to Bruce. Hush is actually the new identity of the Riddler, who becomes insane after being revived by the Lazarus Pit. He fools everyone in the beginning by having Clayface impersonating him at Arkham Asylum. Edward Nygma had a previous grudge against Tommy as he couldn't cure his cancer, and hence he kills him. The Riddler becomes Hush just to prove a point to all the other villains who see him as a C-lister. In the end, Batman almost single-handedly defeats him. After he kidnaps Selina, there is no added help from Jim Gordon or Harvey Dent. In the end, I think Jeff Loeb's original story was much better as a whole and more complex as well. However, jamming a 12-issue comic into an 80-minute animated film is hard, and the folks at DC did a fine job adapting the original. So if you have only read the comic or watched the flick, go ahead and watch or read the other, because that's what makes us true Batman fans. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Click on the little bell icon if you want to be notified whenever a new video comes out. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. I'll see you guys in the next video.